The man was holding a wooden stick and trying to disguise himself as an ostrich. He hoped this bizarre act would lure back a lost female ostrich. But no matter how many hills he searched, there was no sign of the bird. Jack actually worked at a local ostrich farm and had been there for over 20 years. The job paid decently and provided him with a stable life. One day, his friend rushed in with bad news. Jack's daughter had dropped her hearing aid into the village water cistern. It turned out Jack's son had come up with a wild idea. He wanted to raise fish in the cistern and get rich. Jack's daughter had been trying to help her brother when the hearing aid fell in. Trying to keep his anger in check, Jack climbed into the cistern to search for the device. Before long, one of the kids managed to find it. But unfortunately, it was completely ruined. Back at the farm, Jack asked if he could get an advance on his salary to buy his daughter a new hearing aid. But right at that moment, an ostrich got spooked and bolted. Jack and his coworkers chased after it, but the bird was too fast and disappeared in a flash. When Jack finally returned to the farm, he felt defeated, and when he saw his tools lying scattered on the ground, he knew instantly he'd been fired. The next day, Jack went into town to see if the hearing aid could be repaired. The shop told him it was beyond fixing and that a new one would cost 400,000 local currency. Having just lost his job, there was no way he could afford it. On his way home, a stranger mistook Jack for a motorcycle taxi driver and flagged him down. Jack took the ride and realized there might be good money in this line of work, so he headed to a spot where all the motorcycle taxis gathered, hoping to pick up another fare. But Jack didn't know the unwritten rules of the trade and got chased off by other drivers to a quieter area. Luckily, his fortune turned when he actually managed to get a few passengers. Soon, his entire family pitched in to clean up an old, dusty motorcycle. That beat-up bike suddenly became their biggest hope. From that moment on, Jack officially started working as a motorcycle taxi driver, weaving through the city streets just like the others. One afternoon, Jack took a job delivering electronic goods, but his motorcycle broke down unexpectedly. By the time he got it running again, all the other drivers had vanished, and Jack had no idea where to deliver the package. In the end, he brought the package back home. That night, Jack was torn. On one hand, he felt obligated to deliver the customer's goods. On the other, selling the expensive refrigerator in the package could mean a better life for his family, and a new hearing aid for his daughter. The next day, he parked his motorcycle outside the electronics store, hesitating. But when he saw a truckload of ostriches staring at him, it jolted him back to reality. He desperately needed money, but his conscience wouldn't let him go through with it. So Jack returned the package. The customer thanked him for his honesty, paid him for the ride, and even offered him a job. On his way home, Jack saw his son selling flowers by the roadside. To Jack, it felt shameful that his kids had to work. But when he found out they were selling flowers to save money for raising fish, he lost his temper. He grabbed a hoe and rushed toward the cistern. But when he got there, he was stunned. The dirty, muddy well had been transformed into a clear, sparkling fish pond. The kids' determination moved him deeply. Instead of stopping them, Jack went home and searched for anything useful he could contribute to help them out. In the process, he accidentally got hurt. Thankfully, neighbors came to his rescue. Later, Jack sat quietly, watching his wife and children bustling around the house. It was then he realized that every member of his family was doing their part to keep them going. Sometime afterward, they carefully released baby fish into the cistern, finally bringing life back to the water. Just then, someone from the farm showed up with news. The runaway ostrich had returned. Jack's boss told him he was welcome to come back to work once he recovered.